knew she had been incarcerated. She was very upfront about it. She seemed very sincere. She wanted an opportunity. She said she'd learned her lesson, and I took her at her word. She seemed very sincere, and we at Burgerville really like to give people opportunities because we look at that as okay, here's somebody that's been down and out a little bit, but hey, you know, we've all been there occasionally. So we just gave her an opportunity, and she's really thrived in it.
It's totally changed my life. Like I couldn't have the schedule I wanted for work because I couldn't get to work on time. Being on the bus all the time, I couldn't get to all my appointments because it took forever to catch one bus, to catch one max, and now I can just drive to work 5 o'clock in the morning, get there on time. I've been there 2 years now, actually, and I mean, I struggled in the beginning. Like I said, I had to take a bus, I had to work the worst shifts ever, but I've come a long ways. I mean, I went from part-time to almost working full-time, getting overtime. I get medical and dental. Never thought that could be possible. And I got offered the team manager program, and eventually I will be doing that. Hopefully, eventually I'll be having my own store to run, but that'll come within time. I now have my driver's license back. I pay child support, and I have a bright future, and I owe it all to Clean Slate.
$24,034, starting probably in 1980. I don't drive for any other reasons than you do. You know, I take the kids to the school, or go out to the movies, or I drive back and forth to work, or things like that. And like right now, I do some recycling, and I can show you a picture where I have a truck full of metal that I have to pay somebody else to drive so I can recycle it. Because that was the last ticket. What made it all came to a head was I changed the date on a trip permit for my truck because his DEQ, I wasn't able to pass DEQ, I changed the date on a trip permit for my truck, and that's a felony. Don't do that. Well, I finished the community service. Okay. I go to court on Friday to finalize them expunging the $24,000, and I just want to have a normal driver's license and be able to drive for the same reasons without getting in trouble.
Yes, I had a lot of traffic tickets. I've never had a license up until now. When I was a young man, I made some unfortunate decisions, and I suspended my license for a very long time of 5 years. During those 5 years, I just kept driving and kept driving and kept driving, and the tickets just kept going and going and going to where they just were so overwhelming. I just said to myself, just each car they get, if they get pulled over, just take it. I would just buy these beater cars. Just because I didn't have a license, so if the police towed and took it, I wouldn't be out too much money. So it was a blessing to be able to hear about Project Clean Slate. Well, I'm getting older, and I want to be responsible. I have little nephews and nieces that look up to me, and I want to drive them around safely. My mom's getting older. I got pulled over a couple years ago, driving my mom down the street, and they towed my car. That was one of the most embarrassing times of my life, and I told myself I don't want to do it ever again with my mom. She wouldn't ride with me anymore until I had a license. When I went down there, I owed $37,400.82. I had it down to this penny, and it was just so overwhelming. I don't have that kind of money laying around. I just thought to myself, I'll never be able to get a license. Project Clean Slate was a blessing to me. I have a mobile food cart. And without a license, how could you possibly be mobile? And so it really opened my doors to me to be able to do this. They have treated me with the utmost respect, and it's an awesome program to give people a second chance at life, to give people a second chance at doing the right thing in the right way. And that's what I want to be. I want to be a role model in my community to my up and coming the next generation, for my family and my neighbors and the people who see me every day. And I'm tired of looking over my shoulder. I just want to make the right moves and the right decisions. When I first got sentenced to prison, it was one of the worst time of my life. You know, I was 3 weeks from opening my business. And believe it or not, I had a traffic fine. I was driving down the street, the police pulled me over, and I took him on a high-speed chase, and I received 24 months in prison. And as I just said briefly, it was one of the worst times of my life, but it turned out to be one of the best times of my life, because I think if I wouldn't have went to prison, I would have still been doing the same things that I was doing then. When I went to prison, I told myself, I'm never going to have handcuffs on again in my life, and I really meant that. And so I looked up Clean Slate. I said, that's one of the first things I'm going to do when I get out is to get in this Project Clean Slate. And I thought to myself, oh, the waiting list is so long. I still didn't let that deter me. Once I get my mind set on something, I go for it. You know, I put that energy on still doing things illegally. I put the energy on doing things the right way now. And the Clean Slate was one of the first things that I did when I got out, and I haven't looked back. And so it's been amazing for me to be able to go down to the courtroom and go down up into a Clean Slate and to do those minor little things. I received 80 hours community service, and that was a blessing. I was out there, I just thought it was just so fun, and I just felt so blessed to be able to have that chance at renewing my license, getting a license, renew. I never had a license to renew. To just have a license. I got pulled over about a week ago, and I just felt so strong and powerful. And I could hand the officer my license. Normally I just would have ran off and got out of the car, and it's been silly. But and once again, it's been a blessing to be able to complete the program and to be able to have a license.